Finally, NXT returns to Full Sail University, and on Lucha Underground, the monster Matanza is out for blood. Dragon Azteca Jr. and Matanza in a death match for Lucha Underground's mid-season finale of Season 3. Let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel today. January 12th, 2017, NXT back at Full Sail University. Happy about that. Lucha Underground mid-season finale. We won't be seeing Lucha Underground until the summer of 2017. They are going on hiatus, mid-season finale. Never understood the thing about mid-season finales, man. I hate when fucking shows do it. Now I gotta wait. What am I gonna watch on Wednesday nights now, man? It's shitty. It's shitty. Like The Walking Dead. They take a whole fucking month off. It's like, what am I gonna do on Sunday nights, man? I got nothing going on here. Anyway, we got some great action here to go over. I'm glad that WWE's back at Full Sail University. But I do want to say one thing before we get into the reviews for yesterday's shows, man. I'm happy that NXT is back at Full Sail, but I can't help but feel that the takeover build for San Antonio feels a little bit underwhelming. And tonight was last night rather. You guys are seeing this today. Last night, the show was fun. It was a very, very good show. I'm happy that they're back, but I feel like WWE wasted 2 weeks. And they wasted 2 weeks showing us reruns from Australia and Osaka, Japan. For what? You know, we knew the results. You know, I don't want to watch this, and I said this, you know, the past couple of weeks. I don't want to watch programming that I already know the results of, and that are not the most important thing here. You know, because we know the results of NXT if you read the spoilers, because everything's taped 3-4 weeks in advance. But I don't want to watch something that is not going to lead to anything. It's just matches thrown together for the sake of putting on a good show. There's no storyline. There's no progression. They're not building towards anything. So what was the sense of me watching these matches? I'm not going to get invested in those matches if they're not building to anything. So they wasted 2 weeks on repeats just to show you the atmosphere and to show you how historic these shows were because NXT visited these towns and these cities for the first time. Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit. Yeah, the matches might be fantastic. That match with DIY and Tajiri and Akira Tozawa, that was a fun match in Osaka. But I don't give a fuck if Nakamura's fighting Joe again. And we got to watch it again. Nakamura's the world champion. We know. He's building towards Bobby Roode. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see a fucking a title match, which we know the feud is over. And I don't want to see the match and how everything went down for Nakamura to win. And Nakamura won. You know, build towards the next opponent for Nakamura. I don't give a fuck what he did with Joe anymore. It's over. It's a done deal. It's 2016. Let's build towards the Royal Rumble weekend. So I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like the build for San Antonio is underwhelming. Not to say that the show is going to be bad, but I feel like WWE is kind of shortchanging themselves for this NXT TakeOver build. And it might be, at the end of it all, it might be the weakest of all the TakeOver builds, man. So we got to see. I don't know if I'm the only one feeling that way, but let me know what you guys are thinking about the build for NXT TakeOver at San Antonio. It should be a great show nonetheless. We got a few things here and there that are quickly building. I feel like WWE are just putting matches together for the sake of putting on matches. You can't really tell story in 3 weeks with a 1-hour show that's going to fill an entire program. I don't know. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. NXT's back at Full Sail. Happy about that. We start the show off with Asuka. Asuka is coming into Full Sail. She's getting ready to meet her fans on the outside. I believe they said it was a fan meeting or a fan meetup, autograph signing that afternoon before the show. She's got a nice white jacket on. She's got her hair all done. She's got her makeup. You know, the Empress of Tomorrow, getting ready to meet her fans. She got her luggage. She's going to meet the fans. And then out of nowhere, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are waiting there to jump Asuka. And that's exactly what they do. They jump Asuka. They beat the shit out of her. They leave her laying on the concrete. They slam her into the fucking NXT travel van that's there a couple of times. Then all of a sudden, Billie Kay takes a cup. Now, I thought it was coffee at first. I'm like, oh shit, they're going to fucking burn Asuka. Or a cup of hot tea or a cup of hot water or something. But it was nothing but cold water. and Billie Kay pours the water on Asuka's head as, you know what? Go fuck yourself. You know? Embarrassing Asuka, because she's defenseless after getting beat up. Hair all ruined, her mascara and eyeliner all fucking dripping down her face now that Billie Kay wet her with water. So it was an embarrassing moment for Asuka. One of the very, very few times, a rarity, where Asuka is left laying, double teamed by Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Now those two women, back inside Full Sail University, we got a tag team match with both Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. They went against Sarah Bridges and Macy Evans. Never seen these two women before. They might be newbies to the NXT Performance Center. I don't know. I know WWE signed a bunch of independent talents, so they might be two of those women that they brought in, newbies. We got to see if they're going to be, showcased later on in the year for NXT television. But in the end, here was nothing but a squash match. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. We got a bulldog to knee combination. Billie Kay sat with Sarah Bridges, Billie Kay was sitting there, and then Peyton Royce took Sarah Bridges in a bulldog and slammed her head right into Billie Kay's knee. That set up the finish for that match. Went about 2 minutes. This all was nothing more than build-up to what we seen after the match. Both women got on the microphone proclaiming that they're going to be the NXT Women's Champion, kind of like a Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho type deal. We will be the NXT Women's Champion. And then all of a sudden, Asuka, Asuka's not going to fucking sit there and just say, you know what, you got me, I'll see you next week. No, she wants revenge tonight. Referee's holding her back. She's fucking clawing and scratching her way down to the fucking ring, down the aisleway. She gets in the ring, gets beat down again, does Asuka. So the Australian women beating down Asuka again. And in unlikely fashion, an unlikely ally, we got Nikki Cross, who comes to make the save. She scares away both Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, and Asuka was saved by Nikki Cross. Crowd's going crazy. Crowd thinks that Nikki Cross is there to save Asuka. Nikki Cross gets on the top rope. She's posing in front of the fans. She's trash talking both Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. All of a sudden, it turns from cheers to boos. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce escape. Nikki Cross on the top rope turns around, sees Asuka, missile dropkick, beautiful missile dropkick to Asuka, levels her out, and Nikki Cross now throwing her name, which we've seen teased for the last couple of weeks. Nikki Cross throwing her hat into the NXT Championship picture, Women's Championship picture. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. Corey Graves was like, Phillips, what the fuck is going on here? Everybody's confused. Nikki Cross is a loose cannon. Who knows what's going to happen? After the match, Asuka clearly wants nothing to do with the referee. She's fucking out for revenge. So they cut away to Sanity. Nikki Cross says, clearly, she says nothing else. I will take the NXT Women's Championship. Then Eric Young proclaims, we've said this since the very beginning, since we got here. We will take what we want. And that's it. So Sanity was interviewed. They reminded me of... Now, I don't know why I thought this. I don't know why I was thinking Fallout, the video game for PS4. I look at Eric Young and I look at the rest of Sanity, and I'm thinking these guys would fit perfectly in Fallout. Like, they're fucking scraggly fucking scavengers in the field. I'm going to take what I want to survive. So Nikki Cross will take the NXT Women's Championship. Then all of a sudden they walk off. Big Damo is standing in the distance with his arms crossed as he's listening and watching Sanity. So we still got that intriguing piece to the puzzle. Big Damo, what is his deal and how is he going to factor into Sanity? So it's going to be very interesting to see. And the Women's Championship picture is looking a little intriguing for the first time in a long time on NXT. Elias Sampson versus Jonathan Cruz. This was nothing but a glorified squash match. Elias Sampson could have beaten this guy in fucking half the time that it actually was. Match went 3 minutes and 25 seconds with a reverse neck breaker. Elias Sampson, I don't know what Corey Graves' deal is with Elias Sampson. His roasting of Elias Sampson is just as funny as his overwhelming fucking love for Eva Marie, man. It's fucking hilarious. But Elias Sampson... he was booted out of the fucking building, drift away, and all this shit that the crowd is just heckling at him. Don't know where he goes from here, really. He's just one of those guys that's just floating around in the mid-card. Jonathan Cruz fought back here and there, but in the end, it was a neck breaker, reverse neck breaker to Jonathan Cruz. Elias Sampson wins his match this week on NXT. Andrade Cien Almas, Mr. Strippergram himself, versus Oni Lorcan. This was a rematch from NXT Osaka that we seen 2 weeks ago. I will say this about Andrade Cien Almas, man. He plays a much better heel than he does babyface. That's clearly what we see. I don't know if the fans are buying into him at all still, but the way he is, his cocky attitude and his just fucking bravado and his overwhelming fucking I'm better than you. You know, he's got that like that Razor Ramon-esque oozing machismo type thing going on, man. I like it. I'm really starting to like it. But I don't know if the fans are going to get on his side and actually believe in what he's doing yet. The crowd was clearly into Oni Lorcan, and they're into Oni Lorcan because they know this guy's tough. They know this guy is scrappy. They know this guy can go. And these guys work very well together. But the one thing that's going to hold Cien Almas back is his mic skills, man. You know, he doesn't speak good English at all. You know, people want to proclaim that, Nakamura and Asuka, they're not really keen on giving a good interview. Almas is the worst out of all three. Nakamura is not bad. You can at least understand what he's saying. Asuka, you can understand what she's saying here and there, though it's kind of rough, you know, here and there. But Almas, you cannot understand a fucking word out of this guy's mouth. I didn't know what the fuck this guy was talking about tonight, or last night. But the match was very good, man. These guys work very well together, and this one went 5 minutes. Andrade Cien Almas beat Oni Lorcan with a beautiful hammerlock DDT at 5 minutes on NXT. And Almas says his year will be 2017. So this was a very hard-hitting match. One of the highlights of this match was, like I said, Almas's charisma and his machismo, just kind of showing off to Lorcan like, I'm better than you, who the fuck are you type thing. Oni Lorcan hit a beautiful blockbuster on the outside on the concrete as he ran over the steel steps. Blockbuster on the outside. These two work very well together, and I don't think this is going to be the last between these two, man. So we'll see what happens. Almas gets a win. Where he goes from here, again, I don't know what's next for Almas. Anything can happen. Anything's up in the air there. Nakamura, sit-down interview with Phillips on NXT last night. He says he's proud of being NXT champion. He and Joe had hard-fought matches. He's proud to still be champion after the feud with Samoa Joe. Tom Phillips asks him about Bobby Roode. Now, Nakamura calls Bobby Roode one of the best wrestlers in the world. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, Bobby Roode is great, but I wouldn't call him one of the best in the world. I mean, that's a very broad thing to say. But Bobby Roode did not want to appear on camera. Tom Phillips said to Nakamura that he met Bobby Roode earlier in the day and that Bobby Roode wanted to hand Phillips something to give to Nakamura. Now, what this was really intrigued me. Now, what Roode handed Phillips was a ticket that he had back during NXT TakeOver Dallas. And if you guys remember, Bobby Roode was in attendance for NXT TakeOver Dallas. He was there in the crowd. They showed him on camera. They highlighted his name. We knew he was coming, but we didn't know when at the time. He was there to watch Nakamura and Zayn. So Nakamura looks down. He says, a ticket to NXT TakeOver Dallas. And I'm like, what? What the fuck does this mean? And that's exactly when Nakamura made his in-ring debut. So they're building it as if Bobby Roode, knew this day would come. That he knew he and Nakamura were destined for a showdown. Dallas was the first time Roode seen Nakamura's in-ring debut. San Antonio's going to be the night that he takes the title off of Nakamura. And Nakamura didn't know what to think. He's like, a ticket to NXT TakeOver Dallas. Mind games by Bobby Roode, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. Can't wait to see it. Already signed for next week. Bobby Roode Nakamura contract signing for the NXT Championship at TakeOver San Antonio. Main event. This is what the entire show was built around, man. They showed highlights from Brooklyn. They showed highlights from Toronto for DIY and the Revival. I don't know what else to say about these two teams, man. Literally, they're probably right now in WWE number 1 and number 2 as far as top teams in WWE. You throw in American Alpha in the top 3. WWE has some of the best tag teams in professional wrestling, man. DIY, fucking amazing. Johnny Gargano's selling is fucking amazing. You got Tommaso Ciampa's intensity, fucking amazing. You got the Revival. What can I say about the Revival, man? My personal favorite tag team in the entire business right now. They are absolutely at the top of their game. I hope that they can keep this up for a very long time. I hope that they keep this momentum as they get promoted to the main roster. Rumors going around that Revival will be brought up anywhere between now and WrestleMania. Okay, they're not going to have a part in WrestleMania. It's going to be after WrestleMania when we see the Revival really pick it up on the main roster. That's the rumor right now, so take that with a pinch of salt. But I'm also hearing rumors that Shane Thorne of TM61 injured his leg, and he's going to have surgery. He's going to be out for several months. DIY has no other competition in NXT besides the Authors of Pain and the Revival. The Revival was supposed to feud with TM61 as a way to keep them on television and keep them busy while the Revival and DIY's ending. Revival was going to feud with TM61. DIY was going to feud with the Authors of Pain. Now, that is completely thrown out the window. TM61 is going to be off television. Shane Thorne's going to be out, I believe, 4 to 6 months because he's going to need surgery. And you're going to see what happened on January 25th edition of NXT. They actually had a match with the Revival that was called, and they played it off as a storyline injury. But in reality, Shane Thorne is going to be out 4 to 6 months, man. So this is a devastating blow to the NXT tag team division right now because it leaves the Revival without anybody to feud with. Because DIY right now is going to be feuding with the Authors of Pain, which I'll talk about in a second. This match was fantastic. You go into this match, you got to do exactly what I did, man. You gotta hold back and not even try and compare what they did at Brooklyn and Toronto, because those two matches, they're two of the best matches that you'll probably see all year in WWE for last year, for 2016. You go into this match, clean slate, fresh start, 2017. These two teams just fucking work brilliantly together. Like Matt Hardy says, they are magic. They are magic together, man. The Revival, there's one point in this match where the Revival made a beautiful blind tag. You got Gargano, who's got Dawson in a fucking suplex position. Behind him, Dawson puts his arm out, Dash Wilder tags him, and then all of a sudden, the knee. The knee comes into play again. That same knee that Gargano had to tap out for in Brooklyn. That same knee that almost cost DIY the match in Toronto. That knee again came into play. And Gargano was pretty much, for most of this match, cut off from Ciampa. His entire section of the ring was cut off by the Revival. And Gargano, man, beautiful fucking selling, man. He as a babyface, he makes everything seem so believable. Gargano as a babyface, his selling just, it itself just amplifies the match. Like, oh my god, it's doom and gloom. Gargano is fucking beautiful as an artist in that ring, man. Everything he does is just fucking beautiful. And his selling is amazing. Both of these teams, again, everything just broke down at the end. I mean, we seen one instance where they went for a heart attack, did the Revival, the old Heart Foundation move. And they were met. It was broken up with a super kick by Gargano. Ciampa's knees, man, showing you that he can also be a master of the strong style. His knees are fucking vicious. He was kneeing everybody left and right. And it just broke down, man. It was chaotic. You know, the Revival, it looked like everywhere that Gargano was, everywhere where the action was about to break down, the Revival was just in perfect position to just fuck everything up, man. And that's what they're great at. They have an awareness of what is going around, and at every big moment in the match, there is either Dawson or Wilder there to fuck things up and make sure that they are in control of the match. It was beautiful, man. Wasn't better than the last two matches that we've seen, but as a main event for NXT television during the week, you can't get any better, man. The ending of this match, seen the DIY finisher, meet you in the middle. And if you guys think back to Toronto, where Dawson and Wilder were pretty much interlocking hands. They were like, they were going down with the fucking Titanic. Don't tap. And they held hands and tapped at the same time. This one was even better, man. DIY was setting up for their finisher. And in the middle of the ring, both Dash and Dawson were hugging each other because they knew it was over. They were like, no, don't do it. We're going down together. And they were nailed with the fucking super kick knee combination from both Gargano and Ciampa. It was over. Double pin. Both DIY members pinned both the Revival members at the same time. 1, 2, 3. It was over. Match went 20 minutes. Fucking great main event. And DIY retains the NXT Tag Team Championships. After the match, Paul Ellering comes out to Authors of Pain's music. And from behind, as DIY is celebrating in the ring, the Authors of Pain, they brutally attack DIY, that double power bomb finisher where both Authors of Pain take both of their opponents, slam their backs into each other, and down with those power bombs. That super collider fucking double team move that they do. And they pretty much wiped DIY clean. And at the end, they proclaimed that they're coming for the Tag Team Championships. They picked up the belts. They held the belts high. They threw them down at DIY. And that was it. And that was it, man. That was the ending of what we seen in the ring for NXT. Authors of Pain coming for DIY's Tag Team Championship. Now, to close the show, we seen William Regal. William Regal is in the back. He's being interviewed. And he says a few things. Number one, DIY has a lot of momentum. And the Revival had their shot. They're out of the picture for now. Authors of Pain want to stop that momentum. So clearly, William Regal sees this. He's booking Authors of Pain versus DIY at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Going to be a great match simply because I know DIY is going to make themselves look like the absolute biggest underdogs going in, and the crowd's going to eat that up, man. I think that dynamic is going to be very good at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Contract signing between Bobby Roode and Nakamura, that's going to be next week. Then all of a sudden we see Asuka come into the fucking picture, man, and I just felt an overwhelming sense of sadness because Asuka looked like she was fucking crying. We never seen Asuka this battered and beaten before. We never seen her weak before. Asuka comes in and says, make the match for NXT TakeOver San Antonio. William Regal's like, what match? Against all of them. She wants all of them. She wants Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, and Nikki Cross. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a 3-on-1 handicap match. I don't know if it's going to be a fatal 4-way. I don't know. Might be a fatal 4-way. We might be seeing a fatal 4-way for the NXT Women's Championship. And I will say this. If that is the case, and Asuka comes out on top after being beaten down and looked weak on this show, that's how you build a fucking women's champion, Raw. That's how you build a women's champion, McMahon. That's how you build a women's champion, Asuka. That's how you do it. NXT, very, very good show. They built a lot towards TakeOver San Antonio. I just don't think they could. I don't think that they should be compiling all this into 3 weeks. They should have held those 2 weeks and actually had television tapings and programming to build towards San Antonio to make it more important. But they're fitting everything into the next 3 weeks, man. But right now, they're off to a good start. Fun show last night. Very exciting main event between the Revival and DIY. Thumbs up show. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Lucha Underground. We're going to the Temple, and we're going to talk about the Monster Matanza and Dragon Azteca Jr. and the fucking chaotic brutality that went down to close the mid-season finale of Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground last night. Very, very, very good show. Finally get to talk about Lucha Underground. The reason why I didn't do reviews the last couple of weeks was because NXT was nothing but fucking reruns, man. And I'm not going to talk about something that's not going to build and progress NXT television. I'm not going to strictly talk about Lucha Underground because there's not enough audience for it. That's why I do it in conjunction. That's why I do it as a pair with NXT. You guys get your WWE fix, and if you want to hear me talk about Lucha Underground, for those who get the L-Rate Network, it works out for everybody. I'm not going to cover one show in which maybe fucking 5% of my audience gets. Not going to really work out for me, and it's a waste of time. So that's exactly why I didn't do it. Back today. NXT's back at Full Sail. We can talk about Lucha Underground, okay? Show started off with Dario, my favorite character in Lucha Underground. He is talking to his buddy Delgado. He's a councilman, apparently. And they're talking about Cage. You know, they're talking about Cage and this gauntlet. They're going to be seeing Cage. He's fighting tonight. And Cage won this unique opportunity. He beat Tejano in a great match. Best of 5 series. And he wins this gauntlet. Now, the first thing, being that we didn't talk about this the last 2 weeks, the first thing I thought about when I thought of this gauntlet is you ever play The Legend of Zelda, right? Most notably, I don't know how many games this item appeared in when you play Zelda, but I know in A Link to the Past, right? How you pick up the big boulders, you gotta find the glove. Link can only pick up the bigger boulders with the glove. That's exactly what I thought about when I looked at Cage. He's got some mysterious power now. He's got a fucking gauntlet that looks like something that you'll find in Hyrule, you know? And he thinks that he's going to have this unique power flowing through him. And we'll talk about Cage in a minute. But Dario and Delgado, they're talking as if Cage doesn't really know what's going on, that the power is going to consume him. That the gauntlet is going to consume him. So, very interesting as we pretty much advance with this Cage storyline after he won this unique opportunity. Dragon Azteca comes in and demands, you know, you go into Dario's office, you demand, I want a match, I want a title shot. This guy's coming in demanding a match against Matanza. Not only that, he's demanding that, pretty much that he wants his ass kicked, but he wants it in a death match. You're demanding a death match with Matanza. He's got some fucking balls on him. Delgado even looked at him. I like this guy. He's got some fucking balls on him. I could drink to that. So, Dragon Azteca Jr. demands Matanza. Dario picks up the phone. We got a new main event for tonight. So, Dragon Azteca and Matanza. Main event on Lucha Underground. Death match. Now, I don't know what Rey Mysterio is going to be thinking about this. Rey Mysterio was destroyed by Matanza in Aztec Warfare 3. So, what do you do? Is that the right thing to do? Rey Mysterio is hurt. He's not really listening to Rey Mysterio anymore. We've seen him saying that he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants. There was interaction between Rey and Dragon Azteca Jr. in the middle of all this. Not listening to Rey, so this is what you do? This is the decision that you come up with. Yeah, I want Matanza, but make it a death match. And fuck Rey. Not really the brightest thing to do here for Dragon Azteca Jr. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Tejano defeated Joey Ryan, Mr. Lollipop himself. I don't know what to say, man, about Joey Ryan. Licks the lollipop, puts it in his fucking tights. Before that, he's fucking taking oil and rubbing it all over himself. This is Joey Ryan, man. I wouldn't want to wrestle Joey. If I seen Joey Ryan on the apron fucking oiling himself, I don't want to fucking touch the guy, man. And then, on top of that, he takes the fucking lollipop that he's sucking on when he fucking makes his ring entrance. He puts it in his tights. And later on in the match, he goes into his fucking tights. And he takes the lollipop and starts sucking on it again. And Matt Stryker's like, oh my God, I think there's a hair on it. I think I seen a hair on it. Nasty. And I was watching this morning. I was eating my breakfast. I didn't want to eat my breakfast anymore after watching that. So Tejano wins here. Tejano beats Joey Ryan with help from Famous B and Brenda. Now, Famous B, Tejano wants nothing to do with him. Brenda throws in a shoehorn or a horseshoe, and he nails Joey Ryan with it. 1, 2, 3. Tejano wins, cheaply. He wins with outside interference. He wanted nothing to do with Famous B. He's looking Brenda up and down, and he wants Brenda instead of Famous B. So he's not going to be calling 1, 2, 3 Famous anytime soon. So Famous B, he came out dressed as a cowboy. They both came out dressing like cowboys, and that was pretty much it. Tejano walked off. Brenda was attending to Famous B, and that was pretty much it. Will Tejano settle down and realize that he could start winning more matches with Famous B and Brenda in his corner? So we don't know what's going on with that. I know if I'm Tejano and I'm gonna be getting victories here and there, moving up the ranks. It might be wise to align yourself with Famous B and Brenda here. Johnny Mundo cuts a promo that I really lost all interest in. He's the mayor of Slamtown. That's exactly what I say to your fucking sister every time I visit her on Thursday nights. Yeah, honey, I'm the mayor of Slamtown. So, let's take a trip or 3 to Slamtown. But Johnny Mundo and DeMac, they are going. We have to wait all spring and summer for this match now, man. I thought we were gonna have it. I thought we were gonna have it tonight. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be one of the matches that we were gonna have showcased tonight for the mid-season finale. But we're gonna have to wait for it. So we got a fucking Lucha Underground Championship that they delayed last week, that Dario didn't want to have happen. The winner of the match last week was gonna get to choose a match stipulation of his choice. So All Night Long is going to happen. We're going to have to wait fucking 4 or 5 months for All Night Long. Mac comes down. Johnny Mundo's pretty much calling him a fat slob. Not going to be able to last all night long with him. You got PJ Black and Jack Evans there. Mac comes out of nowhere and just beats up Johnny Mundo. The fucking Underground, they leave. Security comes in. Because Johnny Mundo is on the microphone after he got beat down by the Mac. He's on the microphone in the fucking corner, cowering like a baby, calling for security. Security comes in, and what is with the security on every fucking show, dude? It's like every show you watch, security are nothing but inept fucking retards. Like they're going, the Mac already destroyed all of Mundo's camp, right? He chased off Black and Evans. Mundo's in the fucking corner. They are all escaping. Why are you gonna go after a lunatic, huge fucking animalistic man who's angry like DeMac, who's throwing stunners around? One security guard got stunned out of his fucking boots. So the rest of them are going to go up to him and, cower away. What, you think DeMac is not going to fucking stun you? Come on, bro. What is with the fucking security? Why are they booked like fucking retards? You go to a club, man. I wish the fucking security at the club would do that. You sneak right on in. They won't card you, What the fuck's going on here, man? These guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. Every promotion you watch, security guards are booked like fucking idiots, man. So if you're in the business and you're trying to break in and you're a security guard, expect to be looking like a fool and getting your ass kicked. So DeMac pretty much threw all these guys over the top rope. He stunned 3 of them. It was just fucking crazy. He gets on the microphone and says that he is going to take Mundo's title and he's going to beat his ass all night long. I don't know how many people are going to care about this match, being that we have a 5-month fucking layoff now. 6-month layoff. I think a lot of that momentum is going to be lost. This is something that should have happened. And something should have happened after the world title match to set up either Max or Mundo's next opponent. The fact that they prolonged this match already and now we have to wait 6 months for the actual title match. I don't know how people are going to be invested in that, man, or how many people are going to be as invested in it 6 months from now. So I don't know what's going on here. Cage, with his fucking Legend of Zelda type glove here that he found in Hyrule, somewhere in the fucking fields outside Hyrule Castle. Cage defeats this new wrestler. The gates of the temple are always open. Veneno. Some creative name. Isn't that the name of a fucking Pokemon? Venonat? Seriously, what the fuck is this shit, man? Guy's like fucking hunched over. He's got a fucking mask on. He looks like fucking a poor man's Spider-Man. And it looked like, the first thing I thought of was Castro Cortez there, the fucking undercover agent. So I'm thinking that's that guy. Cage is not wearing the gauntlet in the match, sadly. I wanted to see this guy get punched out with the fucking gauntlet. Cage looks a little bit more angry. You got Vampiro and Stryker really playing up that, Cage is a little differently. He's a little bit more aggressive. So we don't know what's going on with that. We got to wait. We got to wait 6 months to see the continuation of what Cage is doing with this fucking glove. I don't know. But he beats Veneno with a suplex into a fucking tombstone. Beautiful. And Cage even yelled, "He ain't getting up from this." And he did. Done. Veneno was laying in the ring after that fucking tombstone pile driver. Sexy Star comes in, starts yelling, "It was you, it was you." Remember, Sexy Star was being tormented by these fucking fake-ass looking spiders that she found in her locker. So she thinks it's Veneno over here. I don't know what's going on with that, but she beats down Veneno after he got his ass kicked by Cage, and that was pretty much it. Moving on, we got Prince Puma in the back. Love me some Ricochet, man. He's fucking awesome. Been catching up on some Ricochet matches from House of Glory and some Ricochet matches from Evolve. I think I just, something came up in my suggested sub box, my suggestions on YouTube. Ricochet versus Will Ospreay from one of the Evolve shows recently. So I ended up watching that. Very, very entertaining, man. I love that type of shit. Puma is seen training. He's got one of those big fucking punching bags. He's got 2 kendo sticks. He's fucking knocking the shit out of the bag. And then all of a sudden Katrina comes in and she says, when you die, all the spirits and all the voices come with you. And Puma says that he sees a vision. Being that he went through what he went through, he sees a vision of blood and pain. And it's Mil Muertes, blood and pain. Katrina says that she had a vision, that same vision, but the pain was coming from Prince Puma. And then she vanishes like fucking, like a ghost. So, I don't know what's going on with that, but again, interesting stuff as we go into the second half of Season 3. Mil Muertes and Vampiro also, very intriguing stuff. Vampiro pretty much laid out as the show began that, Mil, your time is coming. It's not going to be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, but your time is coming. So, very intriguing stuff there. A lot of intriguing storylines as we go on to the second half of Season 3. But you guys told me that after the Grave Consequences matches that you're pretty much dead, but Puma is back. I don't know. I'm glad Puma's not back. I'm glad we could see more Prince Puma because, I fucking love what he does in the ring. But usually you're supposed to be dead after those type of matches in Lucha Underground, right? You're supposed to be killed, quote unquote. Puma's back, but we'll see what happens. Matanza, my favorite in all of the temple. He defeated Dragon Azteca Jr. in a death match. This was fucking crazy. Not much in the ring. Not much at all in the ring. We've seen, Matanza do his slams and show you his brute strength. We've seen some flippy shit from Dragon Azteca Jr. There was a spot where Matanza set up a chair and he was going to Irish whip Dragon Azteca into it. He flipped backwards to avert the chair shot. Matanza stopped short of the chair. So that was pretty much all that happened in the ring. They started brawling on the outside, and then all of a sudden they started to go into the fucking bleachers. They went up top to the fucking walkway of the temple. They were fighting up in the rafters where nobody was fucking seated. There would be, Dragon Azteca was being slammed into the fucking steel. There was one point where Dragon Azteca was hanging onto the fucking beams of the fucking roof like Spider-Man and kicking Matanza. And it was to a point where they started brawling back to the fucking ring area, but they climbed down the stairs and then they went up into the crowd. Now, Dragon Azteca was pretty much luring Matanza to one part of the walkway, where the stairs are to the temple. Immediately to the left, at the top of the staircase, there's bleachers there, where people sit. And Vampiro's like, those seats, they hold X amount of pounds, fucking 500, 700 to 1,000 pounds, people sitting on that one bleacher, right? Matanza, incensed by what Dragon Azteca is doing, taunting him, he battles up the bleachers and he legit starts punching fucking fans. Matanza's throwing fucking punches, punching the fans. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And Matanza, he's already a brutal. If I was in Matanza's way, I'm like, fuck, I'm jumping over the fucking barricade. Get the fuck out of my way, man. I don't want some fucking dude who's wearing a mask, comes out before the match even starts, got blood dripping all over him. Get out of my way, bro. I don't want nothing to do with you. You want him, he's yours. Go get him. At the end of this thing, Matanza takes Dragon Azteca Jr., and I don't know how far down that is, but the sound of this, Matanza takes Dragon Azteca, chokeslams him through the fucking bleachers into the fucking room underneath where the bleachers are located. Right through the fucking entire structure. So, he was done. Everybody's going fucking crazy. Dario's losing his mind. Before that, he was like, kill him, kill him. It looked like he did. So, Dario was happy that his brother, pretty much killed Dragon Azteca Jr. And Rey Mysterio then comes out, and you know the history with Rey Mysterio, Matanza. You know, he was destroyed at Aztec Warfare number 3. You know, crowd's going crazy. They're chanting Rey Mysterio. We had them brawl up to the same exact spot that Dragon Azteca Jr. was at before with Matanza. In the end of this, Rey was getting his fucking ass kicked. I thought Rey honestly was going to suffer the same fate as Dragon Azteca Jr., but it was the other way around. Rey Mysterio back body dropped Matanza over the barricade in the way up there bleachers. Back body dropped him through the roof of one of the office buildings that's... I don't know if it was Dario's office, or I don't know if it was like a fucking boiler room. I don't know where this was or what the roof of the structure was. He fucking back body dropped him through the roof of one of the rooms in the temple. Dario was fucking going batshit crazy. Couldn't open the door. He's like, everybody out of the temple. He starts ringing the bell frantically. Everybody leave the temple. He couldn't open the door. At the end of the show, we see Rey Mysterio and Dragon Azteca. He's consoling Dragon Azteca. He jumps down into the fucking bleachers. Show goes off the air. We don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on here. It's going to be very interesting. I was surprised to see Matanza start attacking fans. I don't know what that was about, but it was a nice little element there. Dario Cueto, he was pretty much telling everybody to get the fuck out of the temple. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. All he cared about was the well-being of Matanza. And they obviously didn't listen. They were there fucking chanting and cheering for Mysterio. Mysterio and Matanza, this is something that I've been looking for. I think the feud that started at Aztec Warfare was something that I knew I was going to be intrigued by, and especially with the vignettes of Matanza in the jail cell and Dario Cueto telling him to calm down. All Matanza wanted was Rey Mysterio. That was it. All he did was want Rey Mysterio, and he was going to do nothing but get his hands on Rey Mysterio. That's what he did. He was so incensed, all he seen was blood, and that's exactly what he got. And Matanza paid for it tonight. He let his vision, his fucking overwhelming, feeling for getting revenge on Mysterio, or getting his hands on Mysterio, got in the way, and he paid for it. And he got back body dropped through the fucking boiler room roof. And this is going to be one of the better angles leading into the second half of Lucha Underground, man. I can't wait to see what happened. It's going to be very, very interesting. I don't know if Dragon Azteca is dead. I don't know if he's murdered. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But they both took sick bumps through the bleachers and the roof, respectively. Now, Lucha Underground's taken a 6-month hiatus. I don't know what the hell's going on with that, man. I'm hearing that the morale is low in Lucha Underground right now. They haven't even began filming for the next season, and they're signed on for like 7 seasons. Most of this talent is signed on for 7 seasons, so I don't know what the fuck is going on right now, man. I'm hearing that they're not going to be taping until October of 2017, so that's a long fucking way, man. They should be filming now. You know, you got the show coming back in the summer. They should be filming now, getting ready for October. So I don't know what's going on with that. If I hear anything, I will obviously report it to you guys on Off The Script. At the end of the show, looks like we've seen Melissa Santos walking out of the temple, and she's being greeted by fans. She's hugging and kissing some fans, signing some autographs. In the shadows, we see Marty the fucking Moth pretty much stalking Melissa Santos, and all of a sudden we see him kidnapped. And Mary Posa kidnaps her own brother, ties him up, and says, it looks like the Moth has finally seen the light. And the show goes off the air with fucking Marty the Moth biting the rope that he was tied up in, and he starts laughing maniacally. And that was it. That was the show, and it's leaving us for 5 months, and I'm pretty sad about that, man. I'm enjoying Lucha Underground, and to have 5 months off, you know, I'm going to be excited when it comes back, but how many more people are going to be interested in some of the things that are happening right now when it finally comes back? I don't know. Only the diehards, man. You can't really take that much of a layoff. You know, you got to be consistent. But that's just my feeling on that. If you guys enjoyed the review today, let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below. Great shows last night, rather. NXT was fun. Lucha Underground was very fun. And if you guys enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments what you guys are thinking of both shows. I'll be back tomorrow, as always, with Off The Script, episode 152. If you guys missed my Raw review, SmackDown Live review, my review of Kenny Omega and Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, I got some off-the-script extras with Matt Hardy, CM Punk news. I got off-the-script extras with Seth Rollins and Triple H potentially canceled for WrestleMania 33. My WWE 2K17 rant video, if you guys missed that. Everything you need is going to be linked in the video annotation. Make sure you guys check that out. PayPal Rumble, still accepting entries. Barbershop window for your t-shirts. Patreon.com if you guys want to donate and pledge monthly to the channel, to the podcast. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206 and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not done so. We are dangerously close to 71,000 subscribers. I'm JD. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Off the Script. Until then, hit that thumbs up and I'll see you all Friday morning at 11 a.m.